And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The scene a short time ago, this crowd decked out in purple, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football, folks, as the Vikings get set to do battle with the Detroit Lions. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Cousins on first down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. A first down throw for Cousins. Buying time to his left. And avoids the contact by sliding. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
2nd down, Cousins. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. The man they call Snacks, Damon Harrison, forcing his way through there to drop him for a loss of a good 10 yards. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Wilson. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49. He's coming off a 3-interception performance last week, so certainly not how we wanted to start here.
Not at all, but this is where a quarterback gets tested. This is where we find out what he has underneath that jersey, because he had a bad game last week. Can he shake off a bad start to this one and start to perform at the level he expects?
After the interception, here's Stafford. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. This is the newest member of the Lion backfield, LeGarrette Blount. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is 3rd down. the gun, Stafford. And he locates Luke Wilson. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, it was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
Here we go. Say, go here.
Here's Stafford. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. Second down.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
To throw on second down is Stafford. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And he is going to be stopped on the return at his own 3-yard line.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Try to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
It'll be a 51-yard punt that time, and the Lions will take over. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves, maybe reward their defense a little bit.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Daniil Hunter in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Here's Stafford. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. The former Pro Bowl linebacker Anthony Barr there to jar it free. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
3rd and long, it's Stafford. It's caught, Jones. Marvin Jones, touchdown, Detroit. Marvin Jones, his first touchdown on the year. And the Lions are going to take a first-quarter lead.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Extra point good by Prater. And that makes the score 7-0. Here's Prater now set to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. And now out comes Minnesota. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number one goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number two goal is win your division. Number three goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round.
Here we go. Black, 82.
Cousins now on second down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. That's the third time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. Cousins now. Forced out to his left. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. He opted to go with his scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's fourth.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's third down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the first down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. Stafford. Roberts got it. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost his bread and butter. It's a good running back dive play.
Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Let's go, man. Let's go.
Now a handoff. Johnson. He'll be dropped shy of the 40 despite an excellent display of footwork. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down. Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, as the Lions are in possession of the football here to begin quarter number 2. They're up against a 3rd and 2 to start things out.
Here we go. Let's go, man. Let's go.
A shotgun snap for Stafford. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
We're rolling. We're rolling. Zero. Ready. 180. Hey, 22.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Galladay. A good pickup there, a 22. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And Jones has it over the middle. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. They go back to the ground with Johnson. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. The Lions on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. Here it's 3rd and 2. From the gun, here's Stafford. And Wilson has it. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
To throw is Stafford. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
They get it to him running left. Calling a gain of a couple. The defense stiffening here. It's 3rd and goal. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. They'll try to run it in. Johnson. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. Another timeout called by the Vikings now. That's their 2nd, so they'll have 1 remaining here in this 2nd quarter. We'll be right back. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
And now out comes Minnesota. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. Give him 30 yards there.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Cousins. Going up top. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. So that'll back him up 5. And now after the delay of game, they're operating behind the sticks, 2nd and 15. Cousins again. He finds Latavius Murray. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On 3rd down, Cousins. This is Johnson. He's got it. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. That one goes for 24 yards. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. First red zone chance now for the Vikings. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. Now a give. This is Murray. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
Here we go.
Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins, eluding the pressure right. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. Cousins from the gun on 3rd. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. They've been moving the ball well offensively, really getting into a groove. Last play, pass completion. Now, finally, the defense gets there.
And you have to find a way to disrupt their rhythm. Do you do it with coverage, or do you do it with pressure? They elected to go with pressure, and it was the right call.
So they do get to 3 points before they hit halftime. Something to build on, maybe.
Yeah, go ahead and raise the banner, right? Wave the flag. That's good. Got points, and now, as you said, they've got something to build on as they get ready for the second half.
Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13. Now a play fake, and it's Stafford. Jones breaking from the contact, and the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
The Lions on 3rd down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This is going to be 3rd and 13. They pitch it out to Johnson. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Well, as an offense, some drives you have it, some drives you don't. And this one looks like a you don't.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, it was 3rd and long. It was screaming for a pass. I think they tried to outguess him there with the running play. They didn't fool him at all.
Went in the wrong direction. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Fielded at the 20. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. A first down throw for Cousins. And he will find his man on the outside. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. So we have reached, and now due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. It's a foot race. He's at the 40, the 20. Touchdown, Detroit, as his guys are in for 6, and the Lions add on to their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit, get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is a real, I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive.
He's got a man complete. They give him a gain of 37. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Here we go.
Second down, Cousins. And Diggs has it. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tougher, guys.
Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
So out now come the Lions. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Hassan Ridgeway breaking through to get him for a loss of 7.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, that allows your blitzers to get there.
Out to the flat, that's complete to his running back. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to third down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
3rd and 2, Stafford. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Everson Griffin in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. Here's Sam Martin now, standing just outside his own goal line. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. It's taken to the 26. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
1st down. Here's Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
So 2nd in inches after that 1st down completion went just shy of the marker. He's going to let this one go deep. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. 3rd and short yardage. Cousins. And he's able to find Diggs. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that and have explosive plays, That's often the difference in winning.
Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Throwing back across his body. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And the return just out across the 15 to the 16-yard line. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 16. After the interception, here's Stafford. Flushed out right. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Let's go now, let's go. Omaha, ready, move. 4 down. You ready? You waiting?
Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. Wilson snags it left side. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Stafford to the former Seahawk Wilson for Lions first. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Stafford now 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%, and it's 1st and 10. They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
They go play action here on 1st down. Underneath for Johnson. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. Nothing on that one. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, Stafford. Over the middle, complete. That's Jones. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. And a nice gain at 21 yards. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Lions holding onto the football, and they also have the lead as we start quarter number 4. Play action. Stafford. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And he'll go down inside the 15 at his own 13-yard line. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
Going deep for Diggs. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Cousins now. Johnson with a completion over the middle. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A really nice gain of 25 yards. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
To throw it is Cousins. And pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held him in check on the scoreboard. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Cousins on first down. Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball. When you put up a token press, make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
Flush to it, and it's intercepted at the goal line. Nevin Lawson with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here.
40 gut. 40 gut.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. His throw incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Again from the 20 after the incompletion. Here's 2nd and 10. On 2nd and 10, Stafford. He's got Wilson, middle of the field. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs. Stafford now perfect since the second half started, 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10.
Set. 260. Back 55.
Off of play action. Here's Stafford. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked up by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Dan Bailey now for the extra point. Bailey got the extra point, and now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. That's fielded in the end zone. And there he goes again. The 40, past the 20. Touchdown, Detroit. In for the score. And the Lions are able to grow their lead. A big-time special teams play here in the 4th quarter to extend their lead.
And coaches preach it all the time. If you can score on special teams, your chances of winning the game really jump up in a big way. Now, I'll let our analytics friends quantify it and give us the exact numbers, but that's what coaches talk about all the time, that extra momentum, that extra bounce you get from a special team score.
I don't have any analytics friends. Those are your friends.
I'll claim them.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. And out now come the Vikings. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. The left side caught by Diggs. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
Going deep for Diggs. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That goes for a gain of 31. Cousins now to throw on first down. Looking deep downfield. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. A second down throw for Cousins. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A good pickup there of 20 yards. From the red zone now, Cousins. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Ziggy Ansah in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. That's number 4. Sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. His throw caught right around the 6. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Murray the lone setback. Throwing his Cousins. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. No gain on the play there. It'll be 2nd down.
Usually the offense has an answer to anything a defense throws at them, including a safety valve. And that's what they did on that play. They went there, but the defense still made an excellent play and held them to no gain.
And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. They come out here in the eye. Now they'll run. Murray. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Latavius Murray, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings have made this now a 1-score game. Bailey now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is Do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, Johnson. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Now Stafford. Over the middle here to Wilson. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
And here now the punter, Martin, booming this one away. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They're down here in a one-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation.
In trouble, and the ball's out. It's in the end zone loose. And this is recovered in the end zone by the defense. My goodness, what a late turn of events here. This was a close game. They needed a little breathing room, or they got it right there on that return for a touchdown.
Yeah, we would say that this could be huge. Forget it. It was huge. Gave them a comfortable lead.
Prater for the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory to play in the NFL. You got to remember what you did wrong so you don't repeat it, but you can't dwell on it because then you will repeat it, and that's what you don't want to do.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Nevin Lawson with a pick, and they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself confident.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
Now a carry for Blount. Blount rumbling with a first down and more. And finally taken down at the 34. A big gain there, and that should certainly be enough to put this one in the win column.
And, Brandon, this is what it pays to have a big back who can take over a football game, especially in the fourth quarter when you've got the lead, your ability to not just wear people down, but close games out.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Lions, it's a nice win to finish off what's been an ugly first half as they move to 2-6. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to the Windy City to take on the Bears. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they'll lose an important one here as that drops them to 5-4 on the season. And they're going to get an extra week to stew over this as they're not back in action until week 11. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.